Hello everybody, Demon Red Mist here, and today I'm absolutely knackered. I'm tired, I'm cold, so I thought, you know what, it's too early to go to bed, I'll go and do some rallying instead. And that wasn't meant to rhyme, it was just an unfortunate coincidence. I just need to go and grab something. Yeah, so I'm going to come and do a bit of rallying. Couple of reasons. I really enjoy doing rallying. Now, okay, rallying on Gran Turismo Sport is not a direct comparison to rallying in real life. It's not done via stages and stuff like that. But I do find, or have found over the years, that learning how to drive a rally car is very useful in general race car driving, because effectively you are out of control all of the time. So when you learn how to power slide, opposite lock, Scandinavian flick, all that kind of stuff, understanding the balance of the car, it all helps in a normal race car. Obviously you don't want to be power sliding and off opposite locking, but it does help you learn what to do if you get into those situations. But there's an interesting trick that I've kind of found with rallying, because to be honest, a few years ago I never really got on with it. I always hated it, I struggled to do it, whereas now I've gone and done it, I'll struggle now. Whereas now I don't struggle anywhere near as much. And to be honest, one of the key reasons for that is I slowed down. Driving way too fast on the dirt, braking way too hard, and not being able to get the car to go sideways around the corners. So I slowed down and focused on getting the Scandinavian flicks going and the power slides going, and then it just became much more fun. Now I'm going to go on Fisherman's Ranch here. It's a track I've driven a bit recently, so hopefully I know where I'm going. But it is quite a tricky track, to be honest. But it has got a few nice flowy sections. Now I'm going to go in a Mitsubishi Lancer, or Mitsubishi Evo, that I've done a livery on today. It's looking rather sexy. So I'm going to go and have a drive round. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if I crash a lot. I mean, like I say, I'm cold, I'm tired, I should go to sleep, but it's only, what, 5:30. I can't go to bed at 5:30, that's ridiculous, and I don't do power naps. So, I'm going to come and do a little bit of rallying. Now, admittedly, when I've been doing it recently, balance of performance has been on, but my Evo is fully maxed out, tuned. So I am going to try taking it with the maxed out car, see how I get on. Now, like I said, there is two reasons why I was doing this, and one I've given, which is I'm knackered and cold, so I need something to do. The other reason is, for those people that don't like rallying or can't get on with it, maybe watching me will help them understand perhaps why the car isn't doing what they want it to do, or how they should go about doing certain things. Okay, if you do use a wheel, one thing you can do for rallying, because you do have to do a hell of a lot of steering, you could always turn your force feedback and your feedback sensitivity down. It does help with learning and being able to move the wheel a lot. Personally, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it as I've got it. And interestingly, something I've been trying to teach my nieces how to drive recently, or improve their driving, and I taught them about like holding their hands at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock and never moving them. The hands should always stay in those positions unless they're steering so much they remove the bottom hand, because they were sort of crossing over their arms all over the place. But obviously with rallying, that rule goes out of the equation. And to be honest, something that I've found very handy is quite often doing one-handed steering and using my left hand just as a supporting point now and again. It's literally, I'm using one hand to steer and the other one is there for any quick adjustment or support that is needed. But anyway, let's go drive. So hopefully you can hear me. Car is a bit loud. Now, I haven't driven this car on max power for a while. I do need to sort of see how it's going to be. Now, the first corner here, I've been crashing here a lot lately. Now, I do have a button on my steering wheel is set as the handbrake, because for rallying it's very handy. If I remember right, I thought that was a double hairpin then. Oh, into the barrier. Now hopefully one thing you'll notice that I try and do is get the car set up for the corner way before the corner. Doesn't always work, doesn't always happen. Okay, this is the double hairpin. Too deep. It's a quick bit down here, but it's very easy to get offline. Didn't get the rear out as much as I would have wanted then. Ooh, I think I hit an invisible wall then. Oh, come on. Because the car's got more power than I've been driving with recently, it is sliding quite differently. Don't want to go that wide. Don't hit the barrier. Now it might look and sound like I'm driving this quite fast, but we're going to hit the barrier now, but I'm actually not. I'm not trying to push. Yes, I am bouncing off. I'm not concentrating on where I'm going. Yes, I am bouncing off limiters, but in rallying that's not a problem as long as your speed is going up. So just there, and I'll try and do it again here, bounce the limiter, but the speed's going up. Now for anyone that doesn't know, when you're doing rallying, ideally you want to turn the wrong way before you turn the right way. Well, that is known as the Scandinavian flick. It helps change the balance or the weight balance of the car, or balance of weight of the car, from different corners of the car, which allows it to turn better. Thought I was hitting the barrier then. So here, for example, turn the wrong way, turn the right way. Went too quick, but you get the gist. So if you struggle at rallying, don't try and drive fast. Don't try and brake late. To be fair, you do tend to have to brake very, very early. You're on dirt, you haven't got grip. So just focus on braking early, Scandinavian flicking, and then controlling your throttle around a corner. And trying to get that rear end to power slide to help you go through a corner quicker. That's too quick. Got away with it. So even there, coming over the jump, I was trying to set myself up so that the car would automatically turn the wrong way before I turn into the corner. So even through the jump, I'm trying to set it up for an automatic Scandinavian flick. Oh no, that's bad, that's bad. And I am trying to get used to having this little bit more power. You wouldn't think it'd make much of a difference, but it really does. So you'll see me understeering quite a bit, but it's because I'm trying to get used to exactly what the rear end of the car is gonna do. And you may notice that I am using the handbrake through some of these slower, tighter corners, and even mid-corner sometimes, and I'm not holding it on, it is literally just a flick of the handbrake. Now admittedly, over that jump I am not trying to set myself up for an automatic Scandinavian flick, and that's because there's a very narrow window that I'm trying to actually feed the car through. Oh shit. Yeah, very narrow window that I'm trying to feed the car through, and if I put any sort of angle on the jump, there's a good chance I'm going to hit the barrier. doing that too soon. Oh, and it's not the corner I thought it was. Bollocks. I thought it was the next left-hander, which goes on to the big dip. I'm wondering if my torque distribution has changed. It has. Mother... Okay, that might be why I'm getting a bit more understeer than what I was expecting. Personally, I like to have torque distribution at 30-70. That's 70 on the rear, 30 on the front. Because for me, that just puts more ability of power sliding in. I knew it wasn't feeling right. So you see now when I power, it's kicking the rear end out more, and that's what I want, whereas before it wasn't kicking the rear end out as much as I wanted. So you see now I can still hit the barrier, but I can be a little more aggressive. Too much power. Okay, now I'm really feeling that extra horsepower the car's got. That's going to be barrier. Oh, see what I mean about that particular bit? There's a very narrow window of a gap to try and feed through. Now when it comes to drifting, for example, the processes in drifting are pretty much the same as rallying. So by taking your time and learning how to do driving on the dirt and a bit of power sliding and opposite locking and Scandinavian flicking and using your handbrake can be very handy for learning how to drift. Ooh, all out of shape there, boy. That's proper set me up wrong through that bit. Now this corner I've been struggling on a bit. That's it, kick it through there, there we go. Oh no, you bastard! Ah, too aggressive on the jump. Ah, balls that up. Need to take a better entry into that. Oh, I did quite well to catch the Ghost back up after a spin, I think. Ah, too wide. So as you can see from the wheel movements, it is quite a busy form of driving, but I do enjoy the difference of the power sliding compared to precision of track racing. Missed the bump. Oh, that was close. Oh, well, that was better than the previous lap through that corner. Well, that felt like quite a nice lap. What was that? Lap 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of a breather. I'm going to pop the replay on, and I'm going to skip forward to lap 6 because I want to have a look at how that seemed. Now, obviously, you'll have noticed I didn't do a hell of a lot of talking through all of those laps. And that's because I do have to concentrate when I'm doing rallying, because you have to know what is coming up ahead of you. This might get a little bit epileptic. If you suffer from epilepsy, press pause for a moment. It would be nice if there was a bigger skip option on this, but there we go. But yeah, as I was saying, you do have to kind of know what is coming up. Oh, I've only gone and skipped all the way to the bloody end, haven't I? Yeah, you can't prepare the car for a corner if you don't know what corner is coming up. So it's another reason why it's a good idea to take your time and just learn how to do a bit of power sliding. There's one of the rally tracks on the game. It's very simple. It's only got one sort of tame left-right chicane. The rest of it is pretty quick, but it's a very good course for learning how to power slide, because it's pretty constant speed. And then you can try one of the bigger circuits. Okay, so just coming towards the end of lap 5 then. So just about to start the better lap that I did. I didn't quite power slide through turn 1. That put me out of shape. Recovered it well through turn 2 though. Yeah, that was a little bit wide, wasn't it? Right, let me just see if there's some different camera options. Oh, well, that's a bit too zoomed in, I think. Let's see what it's like. Now, I'm by no means claiming to be a decent rally driver or good at drifting, but I do enjoy doing this, and the more you do something, hopefully the better you get at it. And I have I mean, it's taken me a long time, to be fair, to get semi-okay at rallying. Not that I play it a lot. But yeah, it has taken me a long time. I mean, most of my focus has been on sort of Formula One racing over the years, so rallying has taken very much a back seat. So that's one of the reasons why it has taken me so long. I think if I'd have just focused on rallying, then obviously I'd be much better than I am at the moment. But I am glad that now I am much more confident at taking a high-powered car around a rally stage, as long as I get to learn the course a little bit. But yeah, as hopefully you'll have noticed, I am trying to set the car up to go around a corner a long time before the corner. And that's because in rallying, if you wait until you're at the corner to do it, it's too late. You're going to go straight on. Or if you do make the corner, you're going too slow. So if you are going to give rallying a go, be aware that you do have, I mean, when you think about it, you kind of have to step back from. So what I'm going to do, just pop the track map on. Okay, so this corner, for example, that's in front of me. By the time I get to the corner, I want the car to be sideways, which means if I wait until I'm at the corner, it's already too late. I should be sideways by then. So you have to come back a bit. It's like, okay, well, I need to be sideways by then, which means that I need to have turned in by this point much earlier. And if I need to do a Scandinavian flick, I need to do that before I do my turn in, so I've got to do that even sooner. Oh, and if I need to slow down as well, I need to be on the brakes even sooner. So you do have to really step away from the corner to give yourself time to brake, Scandinavian flick, turn in, power, opposite lock, into the corner. So you have to be able to get all that done before the corner. So if you wait until you're at the corner, it's too late. I mean, something that I do see from, I've seen it for years with people on Formula One games, or even on this on occasion, is seeing people turn in quite late for corners. Now, obviously, there are corners you should turn in late for, double apex corners, stuff like that. But quite often, I do see people turn in a little too late. So don't be afraid of turning in early. You may find you don't have to steer as much. Anyway, I'm going to go and find one of the other rally tracks. That is not a rally track, by the way. Well, let's see. I mean, that was the biggest rally track on the game. I mean, to be fair, I would like them to add more rally tracks. I think, is that the one? Yeah, we were driving on this this one a couple of nights ago. Sardinia is the one. It's a very simple course, is Sardinia. There's only two difficult corners. That's the triple chicane, but it's quite a nice triple chicane, and a 90-degree left-hand corner. The rest of it is pretty quick. But I'm going to go to Colorado Springs. Like I said, we were driving around here 2 nights ago, I think it was, a few friends and myself. Interesting track to race on in rally cars, but I've not driven this track on my own, so it was difficult at the time to really get a rhythm going around the track, because as soon as you started doing that, you catch people up and then we crash. So I'm going to give this track a little go. And I'm going to go and change the torque distribution again, because even though I changed it at track, it will not have saved it. And the annoying thing about this particular car is, and the Subaru actually, I have been having to change the torque distribution quite a lot recently. It keeps defaulting to 40-60. And it's just not a nice balance for me. I just find the car understeers when it's that sort of distribution. Okay, so this course has some sections that are much narrower than the previous course. It's much shorter. But it is a course that's got quite a nice flow to it as I crash. I must admit, if I was going to do more rallying with this car at this sort of power, I think I would adjust the gears a little bit. Third is just a touch short, and fourth is too long. There's a road here somewhere. Where we're going, we don't need roads. And you thought I was gonna crash. Now admittedly, I know this course a little bit. If I didn't, I would have to be driving considerably slower to learn it. If I tried driving this course without knowing where I'm going or what corner's next, I would just crash. Oh, turned in too soon. Oh, gone wide there again. What are you doing, Dave? Taking the tightest line. It's not work though. That'd be a crash. Oh, I hate this game resetting the cars. Turned in too soon again. Must be because I got used to nearly getting rammed in that corner the other night. Taking completely the wrong line through that corner. Much better. Not making that. Tried a different technique in that corner and didn't work. Too soon. Ooh, that one's wanted to go around on me. Do not go in the pits. Too wide. Bollocks. That's going deep. Got a good run out of the corner though. Ah. close that up. Driving a little too aggressive now. Now you may notice that when I've been driving well, I do feather the throttle a lot, and that's all about car control. Whereas if I do just keep the throttle planted, there's some corners where it'll work, but then there's others where it won't. Oh, got that all wrong, all wrong. That's gonna hit the bail. Oh, missed it. That'll be tree though. Right, let's calm it down for a moment. Now, interestingly, I've not been Scandinavian flicking properly the last few laps. It's very easy to get out of the right kind of rhythm. That could get interested. Oh, barrier. Well, that wasn't bad though. I mean, like I had a couple of laps of being well out of the rhythm, and then realised that that's what was happening. Started doing it again. New fastest lap. Now I'm not going to sit here and watch the replay of that one. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the tarmac track now. Let's see. I'm going to get the Fiat. Yeah, should have known. Okay. So, I'm going to do one more thing now then, which is I'm going to go to tarmac track. Where shall I go to? Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Find one that could be suitable. Now we did try rallying around there a couple of nights ago. It wasn't that much fun. It's a tricky little track. Oh, let's go to no, let's try Fuji. Okay, there's a massive long straight, but the rest of the track could be very interesting or very difficult. So anyway, as I said earlier on, the process of rallying on tarmac is the same as rallying on dirt, but obviously your car is inherently going to have more grip, which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make it easier. It can quite often make it more difficult because a car perhaps won't slide as much. Now, usually if I'm driving on tarmac, I would use Sport Softs. You know, I'm going to go down. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go with Sport Softs because I've got more horsepower. Hang on. That's it. Why? That's right, 'cause it's on the road. That'll be why it keeps changing the diff. Right, let me put all the horsepower on it. So at the top there's road, dirt and drift, so it's probably different differentials. Right. So yeah, Sport Soft tyres is what I would usually use on a rally car that's got a balance of performance on. It probably has a little too much grip, but it's good fun. This car with a lot more horsepower, the Sport Softs may be struggling to cope, but let's go and find out anyway. Oh, booted it a little too much. Oh, I hate resets. At the minute, I'm just trying to find out sort of what sort of grip level I've got. It's definitely trying to spin a lot sharper. Oh. Yeah, spin a lot sharper on the tarmac. I'm not trying to drift on a straight, I'm just trying to find a level of grip. Not quite kicking the rear end out, which is a surprise. Oh, but obviously if you're watching this and you saw me driving on the dirt, you'll see what I mean by it is more difficult on the tarmac. Admittedly, this track doesn't really flow as much as well as I thought it might for rallying, but there we go. Just really doesn't want to kick the rear all the way out through that corner. It's rallying. Go the grass. That was a little ambitious, maybe. Tapped the handbrake then, and I really shouldn't have done. I would have been alright, but as soon as I tapped the handbrake, it went too far. Oh. I was just trying a little bit of the off-track bit. Yeah, it didn't seem to like sliding around there, which was a bit of a shame. I'm going to go and chuck it onto one other track, and then I'll be bringing the stream to an end. Now, admittedly, I could put the setup on the tarmac as a drift setup. I mean, that might be why the car wasn't really kicking the rear end out as much as I would have liked, and it was snapping a bit more. I mean, that is possible. I'm not going to put it onto drift at the moment. Although, if it doesn't work around here, I'll know that it is that, because I have taken this car around this track a lot. And for anyone that is watching this that is interested in GT Sport, obviously I am racing for fun in the Dynamic GT League. Feel free to check out their Facebook page and their YouTube channel. Right, so let's see how we get on then for a couple of laps around here. Okay, it might be the drift setting. Yeah, I can tell straight away through those two corners it's not handling right at all. Instead of kicking the rear end out, it's just understeering off. So, fuck it. Let's put it on the drift setting. Make sure that that, though, is at 3070. Give myself a little bit more gear. Bit wide. Fucking resets. I do not know why GT have gone so OTT with resets. I'm pissed off now. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe it's I'm just old and cynical. Okay, yeah, I am. But if you fuck up and go off, then deal with it. Deal with being off the track. We don't live in a nanny state. Well, actually, we do live in a nanny state. We shouldn't do, though. Interesting, the extra horsepower in this car made it not particularly like this track anymore either. But anyway, or it could just be me driving badly. That's too deep. Ah, I should have booted it then. One more lap. Bit off-putting, suddenly seeing a massive rear wing in your face. Do not want to be on the grass. Oh no, fucked that up. I thought I was going in second, and then I saw I was in third. Oh, ballsed it now, Dave. You've ballsed it now. Tell you what, if GT7 comes out advertised as the real driving simulator and it's got resets in it, I'm gonna be a bit fucking pissed off. Well, I know I said one more lap, but I can't end on that heap of shite. And now I've said that, I could be here all fucking night. That's shocking, boy. Well, that was a better lap than the previous one anyway. I'm actually going to just go and watch the replay on that last lap there. So yeah, obviously rallying on tarmac is actually more difficult than on dirt, even though I can imagine a lot of people might disagree with that and think that rallying on dirt is much harder. But actually it is a hell of a lot easier to get the car into a slide and hold a slide on the dirt than it is to do it on tarmac. Anyway, I can't remember if this was the lap or not. I think it was. Let's see if I go straight on a bit. Yeah, I did have a nice slide around turn 3 here. Nearly dipped a wheel on the grass there. Can't complain with that. Now, it might not be the fastest way around this track in this car like this, but it is enjoyable when it works. Now, I know on one of my previous streams I did mention about getting a car out of control, and this is a very good way of doing it, like practicing rallying, because it can be fun once you get used to it. But yeah, I did enjoy that. Didn't enjoy the nudge on the wall, but there we go. I must admit, I like the livery on that as well. Not bad if I do blow my own trumpet. Anyway, right, I'm going to bring this live stream to an end. This has warmed me up. It has woken me up a bit. I'll probably pass out in about 5 minutes. But it's done what it needed to achieve for myself. Don't know when I'll be on streaming again, but well, I do Thursday because I've got a race for the Dynamic GT League where I'm racing for the championship. If I outscore DGT League SGP by 6 points, I think it is, I take the title. If I have a problem and I don't finish the race, I'll be miffed, but at the same time I'd be happy for SGP because he is my brother. Anyway, so yeah, come and check us out for that, and I should hopefully have a special livery for that race, as I know SGP will. He's had comic cartoon vehicles and movie vehicles in his races on his car this season, so it'll be interesting to see what he's got. Anyway, I'm going to bring this to an end, so if you have been watching, thank you very much. Like and subscribe if you want to. I will try and do more videos. I mean, I used to do loads, and I did have to take a big break, but you never know, I might get into doing a few more videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, have a great weekend, and it's Tuesday, Dave, fucking hell. Have a great week, and I shall see you again soon.